Hi, my name is George Love. I'm pastor at Hebron Presbyterian Church, and this is Wednesday evening prayer for Wednesday, November 20th. We are quickly getting right into the mix of the holiday season of Thanksgiving and then Advent and then Christmas, and so many things are coming, and I want to walk through a few of those in a few minutes. First, want to say this is the last Sunday in our Sunday school material. And so we have been using the Present Word Sunday School material for quite some time, and we may return to it, but for a quarter, the winter quarter, we're going to take off from that and try some different things. And the first thing will be beginning on December 1st, basically for the month of December, we'll be using an Advent devotional book that I wrote. That's called An Advent Journey Through the Holy Land with a Friend. And basically we will read that. There's readings for every day. And then I will work up the lesson out of that for Sunday morning based off of the things that I'm looking at to highlight, but also off of anything anyone read and has questions about or wants to discuss further. So that'll be our material for December, and looking forward to going through that because I am always looking forward to talking about the Holy Land, and I love the season of Advent, so it's a great combination, and look forward to getting into that beginning in the first Sunday of December. But we're still in this material for one more week before we leave it for a quarter. And this week we're continuing in the Psalms, and this week it is Psalm 139. And I want to read Psalm 139 and then just pick out a few things that we might begin to talk about on Sunday morning. But this is Psalm 139 and verses 1 through 12. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from far away. You search out my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely. You hem me in behind and before and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is so high that I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and night wraps itself around me, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light to you. Clearly, this is a psalm about how well God knows us, how completely known we are by God, and the reality that that God is everywhere with us. So God is with us at all times, which is especially meaningful to us when we're in times of adversity, that we know that God is with us. And there's so much that's going on in this particular psalm, and implications of what it means that God's always with us. One of the things that I think is always kind of interesting to think about is the way we think about prayer. The things we take to God in prayer, and what's actually happening there. And one of the things we know when we think about it is we are never breaking news to God. We're never it's not as though we need to get God's attention so we can tell God something that God doesn't already know. And yet God makes that invitation to us to share our joys and to share our concerns, and setting alongside of the idea that we're not breaking news to God is that God, as the psalmist puts here in Psalm 139, knows us so well, knows us likely better than we know ourselves. And I think that begins to get at some of the idea of what we can imagine prayer may actually be like. That conversation that we're having with God is that in having an honest conversation with God, where we're really open and honest because we know that God knows these things already, we may learn some things about ourselves that being in that place where we know that I don't need to hold anything back. I don't need to like try to present myself in a way that is going to sugarcoat some things or make God think something that is maybe not entirely accurate about myself. There's no point in that. God knows. And so we have a place where we can be deeply and fully ourselves, and that is with our God, and that is a freeing thing. God knows every aspect of our life, and the some words that the lesson chooses to use to describe what that means. God knows every aspect of our lives, our thoughts, our desires, our fears, our dreams. And again, knowing that God's aware of these things with us, it gives us that place where we're able to we don't have to pretend we're not afraid. We don't have to act as though there aren't things that we're hopeful for, or there's not things that we have dreams about. And then we listen. We listen for God to calm our fears and to reassure us. We listen for God to direct and to guide us as we pursue our dreams, but also listen for God's dreams for us. So there's a lot of wonderful ways of expressing sort of just the complete everywhere nature of who God is, and when the psalmist is saying, even before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely. It is a gift to be known by our Creator, and it is an even greater gift to be invited by our Creator to share our words with God anyways, to share our thoughts with God, and to know that God wants to have that interaction with us. And so what a joy to have a psalm that so completely helps us to understand that wherever we go, God is there already. That God is constantly with us. I read a devotional this morning, and I shared this with the prayer group today. But it was making the point that we sometimes talk about our devotional life as a place that we're making for God. We're making a space for God. And the devotional made the point that we do not make space for God because God's already in every space. That it isn't like we're carving out a place for God. It's that we are choosing a place where we are going to open our eyes to experience our God, who is constantly and always available to us and with us. So that's Sunday morning, and look forward to going into Psalm 139 and to finishing out the book and heading off into Advent and adventures in journeying through the Holy Land throughout the season of Advent on Sunday mornings, and on sharing some of that with you on Wednesday evenings as well. All right, so just a quick going through some of what's coming, and this is not an exhaustive list because I'm just kind of thinking my way through it. This Sunday, the 24th, we will have Sunday school 9:45, worship at 11. We plan to have our choir that has been practicing for a couple weeks, have the choir sing on Sunday. And so look forward to have that as a part of worship. And then after church, please come to church, and then please stay after church for the hanging of the greens, decorating the church for Advent. So that's a great activity, and the more folks stay, the more people there are to help with the project of putting stuff up, and then to eat soup afterwards. So we go over to the activities building, and we'll have several choices for you of soup, and look forward to that fellowship time as well. So please plan to come to that. Then looking on ahead, next Tuesday, so a week from yesterday, will be the Tuesday prior to Thanksgiving, and it will be the community Thanksgiving service at First Baptist Church in Shepherdsville, and I will be preaching at that service. and there will be an offering collected, which will go to the Fellowship of Concern, which is a great ministry in our area. And so if you are available, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, First Baptist Church, come out for our community Thanksgiving service, and look forward to sharing a message there. We will be back then for December 1st is the first Sunday of Advent, and all the Advent stuff kind of begins then. The first Sunday of Advent is December 1st, which means the second. That Monday is cookie baking, getting ready for the Bazaar, which is on December 7th. So a lot of things that just kind of come very quickly now, and just as we're, and I suspect I'll say more about this next week, but as we're beginning to, as you step into the beginning of Advent, it can feel very much like you're getting into the starting blocks of a race. And then once the gun fires and the race starts, you just run. And I always want to say at the beginning, don't let that be all of your Advent. There's a lot of busyness, and that's great. And it's wonderful to be surrounded by activities, but walk a little. Don't run constantly. Walk a little, and make sure you slow things down a bit, and do look around for the God who, as Psalm 139 tells us, is forever and always around us, and share that journey with God as you go towards the celebration of Christ's birth at Christmas. All right, let me invite you to pray with me. I'm going to pray the prayer out of our lesson for Sunday, and invite you to, again, join me in prayer. Transcendent and ever-present God, you know us as individuals, and you know us as the community of faith. Awaken a consciousness of ourselves that is aware of you and the ways that you care for and keep us, always and everywhere in your grace. Amen. Thank you for being a part of Wednesday evening prayer for this Wednesday. I think there's a pretty good chance there'll be Wednesday evening prayer next week, but being the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and not knowing exactly how that's going to unfold, it's possible there will not be as well. So just kind of watch for updates on the Facebook page and on our emails that come out. If you don't get our emails and you would like to get them, send me an email to hebronpcusa@gmail.com, and we'll add you to our email list so that you will get the prayer updates and the schedule reminders and so on that go out in that way. Have a great rest of the week. See you Sunday for all the stuff happening Sunday. And again, thanks for stopping by.